Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Brad, your hostess with the mostest. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Now that all that is out of the way, buckle up because the Caps just finished up another back-to-back, and that means it's time for another double recap. Caps lose 3-2 in overtime against the Ducks, and cue the meme.
Hey, I've seen this one. This is a classic.
And that is now 0-for-5 in overtime, and I guess if you have a perfect record going, why ruin that? So close. They were so close. 46 seconds away from getting out of overtime without losing. I mean, I have better faith in the shootout than I do in the overtime. That would have been very, very welcome, but no. Less than a minute left and they had to give up the goal. But in reality, I think the Caps deserved to lose this game. They didn't play a good first period. They didn't play a good second period. They didn't start skating until the third period, and the third period was actually really good, but at that point, you're playing catch up the entire game. And why play catch up when we all know mustard is a better condiment anyway? The Caps had a really good third period and made this a somewhat even game. This is one of those games where the stat sheet at the end of the game does not tell the entire story. Everything pretty much evened itself out except for face-offs, but that's a whole nother story. And it looks like the game was really, really close the entire game, but that is not the case at all. The Caps, you could tell that they are used to playing 3 hours prior to when the puck dropped in this game. And I think that's all it comes down to is tired. By the time the puck drops in Anaheim, the Caps are normally wrapping up their games back home. They're tired in the first, they're tired in the second. Something happened in the locker room between the second and third periods, and it set off an alarm for the guys, and they started playing in the third period. And luckily, Vanacek did enough work to hold them into the game at that point, aside from the first goal, which he wants that one back. Every goaltender knows that that's on him. He needs to steal that pad to the ice. A shot from outside the circle, no screen, no nothing. You gotta save that every single time. But aside from that, Vanacek did a lot of work to keep the Caps in this game. Caps tied up off a deflection, which is the only way you're gonna beat a goaltender like Gibson playing the way that he was playing. Even moving left to right on the power play did not get Gibson down enough. Tip-ins were the solution to Gibson this game. It ended up being enough to tie the game, not enough to win the game. But hey, Pilon scored on a tip-in, and that is his first NHL goal this season. What is that, like 6 different rookies with their first NHL goal this season? Talk about depth in players. So many guys out of the lineup, young guys are able to step up, fill spots, and not just be a body in the line, but actually contribute and score goals. Even the overtime was better. Be real, when this goes to overtime, you're thinking to yourself, here we go again, the Caps are gonna lose. I thought it too, and even though they did end up losing, getting to that point took a lot longer than it normally does. Caps actually had possession in overtime, at least more than they normally do in overtimes this season. Caps had 2 shots on net in overtime. Caps had chances in overtime, and that's the biggest difference from what we saw the previous 4. But in the end, it doesn't matter. The Caps lost in overtime, but they stole a point on the road, and they stole a point in a game that, in my opinion, they didn't deserve to get any points. So in the end, it's not that bad. Let's be done with this game. Let's move on to the next one. Caps win 2-0 against the Kings, and it's a shutout. What are those helmets? How did Samsonov see any puck with those helmets? What is that? That's Samsonov's second shutout of the season, third shutout overall for the Caps if you throw in the Fucale shutout against Detroit in there. And how did Samsonov see any of these pucks? Those helmets that the Kings are wearing were so blinding. I don't know who came up with that idea, but what? These helmets make the Kings look like they're waiting for an alien invasion. Swing away, Kopitar, swing away.
Swing away, Merrill.
But in all seriousness, Samsonov had to work very hard for this shutout, much harder than he did in the Arizona shutout. He only faced 16 shots in the Arizona game. He faced over twice as many in this game, 34 shots, and a majority of them had to be grade A saves. The dude was standing on his head in this game. The dude was a workhorse in this game. The dude kept the Caps in this the entire game until the very end when Garnet Hathaway, the hottest member of the Washington Capitals right now, is able to finally sink one past quick. And to make things even better, he's the one that's able to get the empty netter. That is now 5 goals in 4 games. Garnet Hathaway is on a roll. You love seeing this from your secondary guys. Secondary scoring, secondary scoring, secondary scoring. When your top guys like Ovechkin slow down and get quiet for 3 or 4 games, which they inevitably do every single season, it happens. It's great to have your secondary guys step up and pick up that slack. You can't put all reliance on your top guys. You have to have scoring from your second, third, and fourth lines. It can't all be Ovechkin and Kuznetsov. It has to be guys like Hathaway. It has to be guys like Connor Sheary. It has to be guys like young defenders who can get pucks to the net and other guys who can get in front and tip it in. Or guys who can just smack away at loose pucks and let it knuckle puck into the back of the net. I don't care how it happens as long as it happens. That's the grind out goal that you're gonna need to score in games like this, and it was fortuitous from the first shift of the game. Ovechkin has a chance in front and it kind of dribbles to the front of the net and it almost trickles over the line, but Quick's able to cover it up. That is foreshadowing everything that this game was about and foreshadowing the eventual game-winning goal. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes the puck giveth a chance, sometimes the puck taketh a chance. But good on the Caps to stick with this one. This game is extremely frustrating with a lot of stoppages in play. I'm talking a lot of stoppages. I must have counted at least a dozen or two icings in this game. And when the play is constantly stopping like that, you know the guys are getting frustrated too. They can't get any flow going. They can't get any momentum going. Stop and start, stop and start, stop and start all the way. And it was the entire game. So to get a goal in a very grinded out game after coming off an overtime loss that was very, very frustrating as well. Great start to this road trip. Yeah, I know the Caps lost one, but then they come back and win one. They've taken 3 points in 2 games. They still have 2 road games to go. This is a good start to a road game. And now they have to go face their opponents from the depths of the sea. From the depths of Central California arise the San Jose Sharks to face the Caps on Saturday, and then the Caps have another back-to-back. They face the Seattle Kraken on Sunday for the first time in franchise history. I don't know who made this schedule, but 2 back-to-backs in a 4-game road trip, that's rude. But the goal here is to keep momentum. The Caps lost in overtime, yes, they came back, they won against the Kings, and now they have to continue that, win against the Sharks, win against the Kraken. These are 2 teams that are easy to take points from. I'm not gonna underestimate anybody, but they should be able to take at least 1 point from both these remaining teams. And that's all that matters. That is the only goal here. The goal is to accumulate points. The goal on these road trips, especially hard road trips, like 4 games on the West Coast, is just to take points. You've gotten points in 2 games, let's get points in 2 more games. Thanks for joining me on this episode. If you liked the video, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button for me. It does a great job at promoting the channel and helping recommend content to other Caps fans who might enjoy it. And if you enjoyed your time here, please consider subscribing to the channel and joining our family. I would love to see you come back. And as always, Caps fans, let's go Caps!